Friends, I've been waiting a while to do this review. It is of the Uoplay by Albird Gimbal, which is a stabilizer type thing for shooting your video. This case does not come with it. I would highly recommend you getting this case if you get this. First of all, let me start by saying I'm very high on this. I like a lot about it. It's revolutionizing the way I shoot video, just like the Mavic Pro is, just like Movie Pro for which is an app for my iPhone, is revolutionizing the way I shoot with an iPhone now. It's beautiful 4K. But let me show you what this is. And the reason why I bought the case for it, which you don't have to buy, is because how do you put something like that up and keep it from being weird and all in your camera bags? So yeah, so I bought the case for it, which was separate, and it wasn't very expensive. But let me show you what it does. First of all, I almost bought a Karma, which I'm glad I did not buy the GoPro Karma. I'm glad I got my Mavic Pro, but I liked the fact that the Karma had a detachable gimbal that looked like it worked pretty well. And I kind of had my eye on the DJI Osmo for a long time because the video looks great that you shoot with an Osmo. This thing does really just as good as an Osmo and probably better. And the thing I like about it is you can use your iPhone or you can shoot with a GoPro, both of them, and it looks great. The video is great. Let me tell you one thing I have found out about it, though. You do have to take the case off, or at least I do. It doesn't balance right. You have to take the case off your iPhone before you shoot with this. Other people may tell you differently. To me, it just doesn't balance out just as well. Now, you can use a larger iPhone. Mine's just the standard 7s, not the big 7. What is it called? Plus or whatever. It actually comes with another counterweight that you can screw on the end of this to make it balance better for the larger iPhones. But the iPhone 7 standard phone, or whatever I've got here, I think it shoots 4K video though, works great if you take the case off and it balances. So I'll show you kind of how this works. This rubberized end right here that has the little, I guess, feet or little, what am I trying to say, ridges in it there. That's the one that goes where your little push button is, right? So I'm going to push this in here like so. Hopefully you're getting that. That's as easy as it is. So there you go. Now I've got my iPhone on it. Now the way it's going to hang is like this. Your iPhone's going to hang down to the left, and you can get discombobulated somewhat with this. Honestly, it takes a little while to figure out how to do this. So your iPhone's going to hang down to the left. The finger push thing or the button on your iPhone is going to be up here on this side. And the batteries, hopefully I've not worn them out. You get 2 sets of batteries, which is cool, and you get a charger. And these rechargeable batteries. You don't have to keep buying batteries. And so you can be charging one while you're using the other one, and you get about 5 hours of battery time. So I've used this one quite a bit though. This is the power button right here on the left. So I'm gonna press it and hold that a little bit, and I'm gonna wait till the light comes on. There's a little red light there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there it comes on now. Nothing happens yet. You push it again one more time, and then it wakes up. Boom. And so now let me go ahead and turn Movie Pro on. Now Movie Pro is an app that I've bought that allows you to shoot better video than what you would typically get with you shoot higher bit rates like 85 megs per second or 100 megs per second. I think you can go to 100. I know you can get up over 80 megs per second with your 4K. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my iPhone on. And now I'm going to go to Movie Pro. So I have my Movie Pro set to a 4K setting. So when it initially comes up, it comes in what's called a semi-follow mode. Let me tell you what semi-follow mode is. If you watch me turn here, it smooths out my left and right? And as I go up and down, look at this. It stays within a plane. It stays this way, right, as I go up and down. It's like a crane type shot or something, right? So it doesn't tilt one way, in this direction. It just goes, it smooths out my left and right. And as I'm rising up and down, it takes totally all that out, just like a camera crane would, that is set in that, where the plane doesn't change this way, right? It just does this. So I can double click this and it goes into what's called full follow mode. And so what happens with that is now as I go down, see how it tilts forward? Or as I go up, it tilts up. And it still does. It still smooths out the left and right. Now, if I feel like I'm tilted, like I would like to be shooting down a little bit, you got this button here that you can just push down with your thumb. And watch what happens there. It tilts, it manually tilts down. And then it stays in that plane as you go up and down. It goes even further down or further up, and you have to go this way. Now I should say that in the semi-follow mode, the one I was in before, if you did want to change your pan up or down, you just push up or down with this. You can also go left or right with this. Actually, no, you can't, not in that mode. So this goes up or down, and I can set my default, as it were, and I get this beautiful video. So I'm going to show you how this looks with other video that I've shot already. I'll be showing you how it looks. The third mode you have then is I can't remember what it's called, but you double click again, and now you're in what I would call almost like a dolly mode. As I turn left and right, look, it doesn't change, see? And I think maybe on this one you can go, yeah, on this one you go left to right with this and it does pan for you, right? Otherwise it does not pan, it stays in that. And you know what it looks like? It looks like a dolly shot. It looks like you've got a dolly shot as you're sliding. Like say you got a big wall of roses. I shot some roses at Morgan and Savings Bank, and it looked like I just had a dolly pushing it left and right in front. So this kind of cool. Up and down stays the same, and left and right does not change. It's just like you're on a slider. That's what it looks like, and it's a cool looking video. Now. Let me say, you also have the third mode, or the fourth mode rather. If you just triple click this red button, I've been double clicking the red button to go between these other modes. If I triple click it, 1, 2, 3, then it goes up and it becomes a portrait mode thing, right? So in other words, now I'm shooting that kind of video. And the thing that's cool, because this is the way you would put your GoPro in there too. So I might show you a GoPro done it that way as well. So it comes up originally when you do this in the semi-follow mode. As I go up and down, it stays the same plane, right? But I can, once again, I can take the buttons. You know what you see how I'm holding it? You don't hold it upright when you're doing this. When you're in this mode, you hold it down like this, kind of. And you raise it up or down this way. But you can still tilt manually with your thumb, see? Okay, so I'm going to double click again. Now I'll be in the full follow mode. And it pans up or it pans down as I tilt it, or it smooths out my left and right. And I can do the triple, or the, let me just level it up here, push it forward a little bit, push it back a little bit. There we go, just like that. Now I'm going to do double click again, and I should be in that same, where it stays in one plane there. See, up or down, left or right. It doesn't move. It looks like the dolly shot again in a vertical, in other words, in a horizontal plane there like that. So let me if I triple click again, it should go back into the other mode, and there you go. Now I'm going to put the GoPro in here and show you how. Well, I can't put the GoPro in there, folks, because I'm shooting this with my GoPro. I guess I could put another GoPro in it. So let me show you that. Let me get another GoPro and we'll do that. Oh, to turn it off, you just click and hold the button down, and then it's just kind of go limp on you here. Watch it. And there it goes. Turn the iPhone off here. So folks, now I have the GoPro on. And you can see how this would work. Turning left and right, up and down. So you double click again. Now I've got my follow mode on my GoPro. And like I say, I'll show you some video of me just mucking around, climbing over some rocks and stuff here in a minute. And you have the third mode, which is the stay totally straight kind of dolly sort of mode. And if I triple click it, it's going to go back into the, 1, 2, 3. It's going to go into the mode that I would need to shoot if I were going to have a iPhone on there again. So here we go. That's how it works that way. Let me turn this off for a minute and talk about it for a second. So folks, here's how the case looks with everything in there. And I just kind of put the batteries inside that, or just kind of lay them in there like that. And I put the little charging cord in here. It came with the charging cord for charging the batteries. And it closes up nice and tight, and it stays nice and snug and neat, and doesn't get all fouled up as you travel with it. So now I'm going to talk about the results that I've been seeing with it. Number one thing is I would say it's taking 90% of all my left, right, up and down herky-jerkiness out of the video I've been shooting. I'm going to show you some samples as I'm talking of me just walking up and down streets, panning left and right, looking at flowers, looking at shops, going through stores. The one thing I do want to show you, and I'm going to show you just a good little bit of it, is me climbing around on some rocks, which ordinarily is like at a river. And if I were climbing around on these rocks at a river with a GoPro, just look out. There's going to be all kinds of motion and everything. So I'm going to show you some shots that I shot with the iPhone 7 in 4K, and also in 4K wide field of view with the GoPro Hero 5. And you'll be able to see. I mean, I'm jumping around on some very uneven surfaces. I'm a big guy who's, not the most smooth moving guy in the world too. I'm hopping around on rocks, doing some bouldering, and it performs like a champ. Now, let me tell you, the one thing you don't get with this sort of thing when you're walking, the thing you don't know, you can smooth out this. You can smooth out this, right? You can smooth out these various different planes. You cannot smooth out the up and down. If you have a little bit of a bounce in your step, which I do, no matter how I try to hold it, my hand is going up and down a little bit. And the thing it doesn't do, you don't have some kind of a spring-loaded something that evens that out, right? So unless you have a true Steadicam, you're not going to get a Steadicam result. You're going to get a stabilized result. And the thing you're going to get is a tiny little bit of hop. And because you don't realize you're even doing it as you're walking, but you've got just a little bit of vertical movement. The only way I know that we could do that is if there was something, like I say, some sort of a spring mechanism or balance type thing that as you walk keeps this other side from bobbing up and down. Because what happens is you're going to get that tiny bit. And I'll show you, I was walking down an alleyway. Ordinarily, I'd walk down an alleyway and you'd see me going left and right and you'd see a little bit of this happening. But so it takes all that jitter out, that jitter, whatever you call it. It takes all that extraneous left and right stuff out. It does not take this out. So, just realize what it's good for. What it's good for is making your video 90% better, 95% better as far as steadiness goes. Some people really get hung up. I've got one subscriber in particular, he knows who he is, that always criticizes my video. It's too shaky, it just makes me sick watching it, Okay, hey, for him, maybe this will help. Maybe make him 90% less sick. But I grew up watching stuff like The Shield and stuff that has a lot of motion. Some of my favorite shows actually have a lot of that just motion in it, and they're handheld shows. And so I'm not bothered by a lot of motion. However, I have to say this, it does become more watchable. It's particularly if you're trying to really show somebody and experience a place, show them the wild or whatever like that, it's better to have smoother moves. I think this is an excellent, it's Uoplay, Uoplay. The name of the company that makes it is Albird. Now, why did I go with it other than, it was $120 cheaper than almost any other option, and it would do the GoPro and the iPhone 7, which I think is awesome. Maybe by the time I've made this, there'll be somebody else doing the same thing. It's pretty cool for right now. If you go and look on a DJI, you're looking at an Osmo, they have one for a GoPro, they have one that has its own little gimbal in it, they have one that's for an iPhone. It's nice to have one that you can put multiple things in and it balances well. You got your little counterweights if you want to go with larger sized iPhones. It's a pretty sweet deal. This is not something that has been sent to me for a test. It's something I purchased myself. So this is like really coming from the heart. I like this thing a lot. It is changing the way I shoot video. I think I've explained everything about it as best I can. If you have any questions, though, go ahead and leave me those questions. I'll try my best to answer it. It's becoming more hard for me to answer subscriber questions now. I'm still doing the best I can, trying to keep up with them. Like I say, if I were going to, I will leave you this, and maybe I should do a video about this. If I were going to say there are 3 things, maybe 4 things that you could get for yourself for moving forward, some really cool things to have as a videographer, a vlogger, a blogger, is the Mavic Pro is awesome. Is it as good as a Phantom 4? Pretty darn close, as good as a Phantom 4, better than almost any of the rest of them, and it's so small. I am going out with a camera bag this size. Hang on. I'm going out with a camera bag this size now, and I'm putting a Sony AX33 in there. I'm putting a Nikon still camera in there. I'm putting the Mavic in the middle with the remote, and I go out with a camera bag that big. I have a Mavic. I'm able to fly. I'm able to shoot awesome zoomable video with a camcorder, standard camcorder. I'm able to shoot awesome stills with my Nikon DSLR. My pug is fussing at me. I don't know why. She doesn't like me showing you this case. But anyway, the Mavic has changed the way I shoot. This Uoplay is now changing the way I shoot. The Hero 5 is pretty darn cool, so I'm still digging on that. And also Movie Pro with the iPhone 7. I love the 4K that I get with the iPhone 7 using Movie Pro, it's called. Check that app out. Pug is relentless. Peace to all who watch. Subscribe to the channel if you like.